May 20th marked the beginning of a non-stop severe weather outbreak. An entire week of storm chasing would soon test my perseverance, my patience, and my Prius.
Keep going!
Thanks for coming back for more pie, everyone. I just really wish now I had brought some deodorant. But first, it was time to install some upgrades. There we go. Now I can shoot whichever direction I want. You may have noticed me using these door-mounted tripods in my last video, and I installed them because I got tired of shooting through my windshield wipers. Now I can easily shoot out my side windows.
Well, I'm just leaving Amarillo, and it looks like that the storms are popping up right in front of me. Oh, well, wait, no, those are just wind turbines.
I went to bed the night before with the SPC already issuing the highest probability I had ever chased in. Until the next morning when they doubled it. And just when I thought it couldn't get any better, they upped it to a whopping 45%.
45%?
The last time that I could find where the SPC issued a 45% day was over 7 years ago, and 153 tornadoes were reported. I caught up to the first supercell of the day, just after a tornado was barely reported.
Chasing Nebraska Friday?
Yes. Oh, that was so cool.
I continued chasing, but the storms were just refusing to cooperate.
Let me out of this whale, please.
On top of all of that, I ended up getting stuck in some serious chaser traffic.
Traffic's moving very
Extreme tornado tours is there.
The whole day was like this, and I ended up wasting time trying to find a different storm. But eventually it reorganized and it dropped a tornado, which of course I missed because I was so far behind. Things were looking really messy at this point, so I decided to finally give up.
Even the news chopper's calling it a day. He's heading back.
So even though I didn't see a tornado, there were still 38 tornado reports, but it certainly didn't live up to the hype that it had.
Well, I just spent 11 hours sleeping in my Prius here after a huge bust of a day. There's a slight chance around Salina, Kansas today, so I guess I'll head up north up there.
When I spent the night at this gas station, I had no idea that just a few nights later, a tornado would rip right through it. You can even see that there's a hotel over here that I caught on my camera as I was setting it up. And this is what it looks like now. It was an EF3 tornado and there were even 2 fatalities. I'm gonna have to make sure to keep my phone on next to me when I spend the night in Tornado Alley now. I was just about caught up to the first storm of the day when I was stopped dead in my tracks.
So frustrating. It's got a nice base over there too.
So I had the bright idea of taking some dirt roads instead.
This is worse. Slip around, just turn around. Screw it. We're not doing this.
But just like a frog wanting to jump out of the pot too late.
No. Okay, we need to reevaluate this. Actually, the grass is probably has more traction, come to think of it. Okay, good. That is working. Give me that momentum. That's when you were on the grass that you had the traction. Keep going!
And I was finally able to hop out of the pot.
Oh my gosh! Go back to the freaking pavement.
And just when I thought I was out of the woods,
Just my freaking luck! There's no way of crossing that, that's deep. Meanwhile, that storm is exploding.
I finally found a dirt road that was all right, and the same truck came up next to me.
Hey. Oh goodness, yeah. That looked deep. I wasn't gonna try, especially in this car.
Yeah, when I saw him going, no, don't come through.
No. I would consider it if you were gonna go through, but not. Not in a Prius, no.
I finally caught up with the storm on the interstate, but despite the struggle to get to it, the action was far from where I expected it to be. I wasn't able to catch up, but it wouldn't be long before I would redeem myself.
And so I just woke up after 2 storm chasing busts. But the SPC just issued a 10% hash area for just southeast of here, so this is just a quick little 4-hour drive to get down there.
As I continued to check the forecast models, my target area kept moving me farther and farther south down into Oklahoma again.
Oh my goodness. Rushy water there. Man, I've never seen such extensive flooding before.
Just south of Tulsa, the first tornado warning fired at 4:25 p.m. Though this part of Oklahoma is practically the Amazon rainforest, I headed west just as a second tornado warning was issued. I tried to go north to target the first circulation, but I quickly changed my mind after being blinded by rain and trees. And just then I got a call from my sister saying the southern one was starting to spin up.
Is it on the ground?
Yeah,
Okay.
it started as a little skinny thing and now it's dropping.
So I'm probably in the path then. Okay, breathe. My heart's thumping.
And finally, my perseverance paid off.
Oh yeah, there it is. Sweet.
See it?
I see it.
Come on, roll.
I don't know, it's pretty strong, but you can try.
Park. Sweet. Oh, how many miles? I think I'm gonna do it.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up with you.
Bye.
Bye. Let's get this tripod set up. Need to text location to make sure it's even working. Okay, got it. Rolling. Oh, come on. Looks so good.
I spent a long time prepping the drone.
Start.
More time than I should have.
Recording. Oh, stop. Warnings, go away. Okay, video recording.
But the tornado wasn't showing any signs of stopping.
Here I go. 1080, 60.
By the way, thanks to everyone that's been subscribing recently. I've been posting my storm chasing videos from 2019 every other week, so the rest of you may want to consider subscribing as well.
Rolling. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Look at that tornado. Oh, this may be too far away. Come on, get the things set properly. Ooh, that rain core. This might be too far. Okay. Look at that thing. Let's keep getting higher. Wow, look at that tornado. There's so many stinking trees. How's my speed? 20 miles an hour. Down on exposure. Okay, it must be fighting wind. It's only going like 23 miles an hour. Sweet. So the location is being transmitted back from the phone I have strapped to it.
Even though I was getting significantly closer, the tornado looked like it was just outside my range.
None. There we go. More contrast. Oh, it looks like it's getting rain wrapped. I might just have to land it wherever. Oh, it's got to be fighting outflow from the storm over there on the right. Hey there. You mean south of here? Yes. Okay. All right, thank you.
With the prospect of being able to chase a different tornado, I decided it was about time to give up on this dissipating mess. I flew back to the road to land, on the side that didn't have sheep roaming around, that is.
Man, I only got it like a mile away. That tornado was just too far. Too far. I'm glad I have a second battery. That was a nice tornado. Not super photogenic, but all right.
Fortunately, the wind was calm enough this go around that it was able to land in the spot where I told it to. I pulled up to the drone's location, and the driveway I landed by wasn't in the best shape.
Gotcha. Ugh. Got a little wet there. Stop rolling. Okay, time to play some catch up.
You sure know how to freak out a sister. A tornado moving right towards you.
Oh no, it was too far away. I had to land the drone. I mean, the drone footage will look kind of cool. Not nearly as cool as the first one, but
Okay.
I've flown my drone 4 miles away from me before, and the tornado turned out to be 5 miles away. And unbeknownst to me, the tornado went north after it was handed off from an old circulation. If it had kept going northeast, it would have passed right in front of me before dissipating. But if I had known it turned, then after chasing the first circulation, I could have kept going west from here, gotten out of the trees, and gotten within range to fly in.
I was wondering where all of the other storm chasers were.
I caught back up with the storm as the sun began to set. I was east of Tulsa at this point, and it was still rotating. Then a menacing wall cloud appeared through the trees again as well. I punched through the core just as a lightning bombardment initiated over Pryor Creek, Oklahoma.
Pryor, Oklahoma. Just prior to a tornado possibly hitting it. That'd be a bad joke if that was actually true. Not bad. Whoa. Wow, that sounded so impressive. Okay, that might be dropping. That's like coming right for me.
Whatever that nubbin was, I wasn't about to let it go over me.
Get out of its path. Man, it's trying.
Everything was so obscured by precipitation that I wasn't sure this was the actual circulation. But I wasn't about to stick around to be sure.
Oh man, I'm like literally right in the hook.
As I got clear, a tornado eventually did touch down on the north side of Pryor Creek, and another circulation was starting to form even farther southwest.
Oh, zap. Okay, we can't have it that bright.
The lightning barrage continued to rain down, so I set up my camera for slow-mo.
Wow! Man! I'm still seeing that lightning strike after closing my eyes. There, man, on the lake. Okay, so then, yeah, let's stop here. Zip, zip, zap, zap. I'm getting so wet.
It actually wasn't this dark yet. I just had my camera's exposure turned down to expose the lightning better.
Oh, hello, tornado sirens. Alrighty, yeah, it's developing a new hook echo on the south. Okay, you trying to get on, buddy? You trying? You trying? Are you coming? Okay. So apparently there was a tornado report back at Pryor Creek.
The cloud did look a little menacing, but I was about ready to call it a day.
I am so thankful I installed these tripods on the doors. That's like bear speech behavior right there. The road network is terrible. Unless I go back up to that road.
The hook went right over me, but it didn't look like it was worth sticking around.
Oh, hello, buddy. You technically didn't have the right of way, but sure.
Until I took another look at the radar.
What's the hook echo doing? Because I let that hook echo literally go right over me. Oh man, yeah, the rotation.
And Salina was where I was just hearing the tornado sirens.
Shoot.
Yeah, massive.
So I continued the chase. And unbeknownst to me, when I crossed this land bridge again, a tornado had just gone through it. No wonder there was so much stuff all over the road.
So they did confirm a tornado over Salina.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Freaky.
Looks like Salina had dodged not one, but 2 bullets.
What is going on here? Oh, the Dominator. Ooh, man, nice looking wall cloud over there.
As I drove through Jay, Oklahoma, I began to fear the worst.
Power in this city's off. Oh boy.
This house on the left here had some light damage.
Yep, there's some over there. That house had a little bit.
Other structures weren't so lucky though. The north side of J had an EF2 tornado go through it. I continued chasing tornado warnings well into the night and ended up only getting 4 hours of sleep.
It's 7 a.m. Gotta drive 7 hours to get to Amarillo, Texas for the next big day. Basically out of food, so hopefully I can find an Aldi around here. It's a bit disheartening. I ended up spending the night in Joplin, Missouri, and 8 years ago is when the EF5 ripped through town, and there was also some big tornadoes that touched down just north of here, as well as in the capital of Missouri.
When I got to Amarillo, I made the mistake of trying to play the storms that was behind this boundary, instead of playing the storms that were along it up north. By the time I had made it up there, I had missed a couple of tornadoes. Again.
Just spent my 4th night in my Prius back here, and I'm gonna try to stick my head in the sink and wash my hair, and because I don't think there's a gas station with a shower around here. I have no life.
The highlight of May 24th was flooding.
This whole field over here is a lake.
I had the luxury of seeing how deep the floodwaters were by the truck in front of me. But if you have any uncertainty on how deep water could be, don't drive through it.
Sure hope the gaskets on my doors are in good shape.
Lubbock, Texas even recorded over 3 inches of rain through May 26th.
And drinking water is really important on the road, especially when you're not getting a whole lot of sleep. That means you have to go a lot more. Ugh.
My spare tire well had completely filled up with water.
I guess the same thing goes with a Prius.
On May 25th, I just barely caught this funnel cloud through all the rain up in Kansas.
Alright, if that's Scud, it sure does look like a funnel cloud. Yep, we've got rotation on the radar too.
But it never amounted to anything.
Well, I just started recharging the phone that's strapped to my drone, and I'm trying to clear every last warning that I've been. There it goes.
On May 26th, I did catch up with some ground scraping Scud, but that was about the extent of this storm chase.
Last night I heard that El Reno got hit again, and I just stayed there Monday night, just under a week ago. I verified it with my Google Maps timeline and the surrounding buildings around it, so.
After putting 4,000 miles on my Prius, my front right wheel bearing was audibly grinding. So while I was waiting for a new part to come in, I took time to take a much needed break. So I ended up missing a lot of tornadoes this last week, but I certainly didn't come back empty-handed. If I've learned anything from chasing the last few years is you have just got to keep trying. And keep trying, I will. Next time I'll be sharing with you guys how this storm chase almost ended badly.